Let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Washington Redskins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He'll get the football here. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, of one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Roethlisberger. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. A first carry down for Rob Kelley. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. First offensive series forthcoming. Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver that certainly needs no introduction in this league.
He's truly one of those don't blink guys, because as soon as you do, he's past you and in the end zone, and doesn't mind letting you know about it too.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Second down, Cousins. Caught on the right side, Reed. For Jordan Reed, Charles, still waiting for him to play a full complement of games. You know, through 4 seasons, he hasn't completed a full NFL schedule, but he's right up there in the argument for best tight end in the league.
He certainly is, and I don't think he can get a bigger compliment than I'm hearing from my friends in the scouting community, who have all told me that those teams that are in the market for tight ends, when they're scouting now, they're all trying to find guys who have Jordan Reed characteristics. And I'm talking about route running, run after the catch, the ability to create and make bigger plays. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Lawrence Timmons comes from a long line of productive Florida State players. And when I say productive, I usually mean spectacular.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And Green with a catch left side. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Ladarius Green from 17 yards out. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Cousins to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Cousins on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Deshaun Jackson, 67 yards. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And the back goes into motion. On third down, Roethlisberger goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Roethlisberger. And able to find Green. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 19 yards there on the pickup. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Now Roethlisberger. Green's got it over the middle. 26 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. So with that, we come upon the 2-minute warning here on the NFL on EA Sports. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Roethlisberger will throw, and this is going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They come up in an offset eye. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. That one good for 10 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. On second down, it's Bell. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And that is incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Second down now after the pass completion. Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Fresh set of downs here. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. This is Kelly. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. Second down, Cousins backing up. Fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Cousins now to throw on first down. And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown Washington. Jordan Reed in the final seconds of the first half. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead. And he's able to put it through. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran corner, D'Angelo Hall. So 2 corners down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They come out here in the eye. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. Oh, he pulls over him. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the 3rd quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game. Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's Cousins. This will be caught just inside the 10. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Give him 2 yards on that play. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done. Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Roethlisberger sliding out of the pocket. Over the middle. It's caught by Rodgers. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 3rd down and 4. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Roethlisberger, and he's got Rodgers. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And this one caught by Coates. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And they're going to speed things up here.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Darius Hayward-Bay, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And he locates Wheaton, complete. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And it's hauled in by Rodgers for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rodgers, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he'll bang that one through. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the offense can string something together, but they'll need to do it quickly here to try to get points on the board and win this game. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
Watch left.
Cousins on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. Now Cousins. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
On the ground, it's Thompson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Cousins. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Here's Cousins. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and it brings up 4th down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Roethlisberger, eluding the pressure right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Here's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the D-line's going to spread out. Cousins to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. 2nd down, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers.
Let's go! Green, 39! Detroit!
In motion left, that's Crowder. Cousins on 3rd and 2. He's going to try and go deep again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And quickly, they get to the line. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Flush to his right, goes underneath for Bell. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
We got three, fellas, we got three. Key 26.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 3rd down now following the run. The play clock's running down. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Fourth down, here's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Well, let's begin by trying to get into the mind of the head coach. He's telling us he wants to win the game right now. That's why they went for it and got it on 4th down.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And nothing there on the return. They got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get bad ones. Sometimes you get great ones. And that's what we had here. What an exciting finish on that last big play.
And I think that as we look at it, when you're talking about a great finish, which went along with a game that obviously was dramatic because we did get into overtime, what type of play calls do you have left? What have you not shown? Or what have you made an adjustment to what you've worked on all the way through that's going to give you the play we saw to win the game? Because I know everyone's thinking that was something that they just drew up. It might have been something they've been working on, and now they got the right matchup.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.